Good evening, everyone, from McDonald Stadium across from the campus in Pass Christian, Mississippi. It's time for area high school football action as your Sumrall Bobcats are on the road tonight against the Pass Christian Pirates. I'm Kelly Sander flying the plane solo tonight on a beautiful night here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast in a beautiful stadium with brand new turf that they have laid here in Pass Christian just since end of the last academic school year. So this beautiful new turf that they have here will make it very efficient for all the teams to play, including the soccer teams that play here at Pass Christian, part of an old bond issue that goes back from a few years ago where they've built new buildings on campus and returfed this stadium as well. So lots of things to talk about tonight here at McDonald Stadium. The Sumrall Bobcats will be in their all-white uniforms. The Pirates actually won the toss and deferred the choice to the second half. So Sumrall will receive the football to begin tonight. Head coach Shannon White said that all in all, things are pretty good health-wise for the Bobcats. Of course, starting quarterback Billy Garrity out for the season after that labrum surgery. But Zane Berry will go tonight. He's been out with an injury, kind of nursing an ankle, but he is back in there tonight and don't know how much Zane will play. Of course, this game is a non-district contest. Pass Christian on the Gulf Coast Region 8 4A, which includes teams like Bay High, Moss Point, and East Central. You see the Bobcats making their way to their sideline on the far side of the field. And the Pirates here on homecoming at Pass Christian will make their way out through their inflatable here to our right. But weather-wise, things are beginning to cool down just a little bit. Nice breeze through the press box area here, and the hospitality always A-OK down here on the coast as the Pirates and Bobcats getting ready to tee it up. Sumrall will return home next week for the Battle of 589, the first district contest for the Rawcats, as they will host the Purvis Tornadoes with new head coach Brad Hankins. That game next Friday night, we hope to see you at Lions Field in Sumrall for the annual Battle of 589. So getting ready to tee this one up tonight with a slight breeze, going actually from east to west on the breeze. The Bobcats make their way to the far side of the field. We want to thank all of our sponsors for making the webcast possible, including our friends at Sumrall Lawn Care, also your State Farm insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple. Grand Bank, sponsors of the halftime show. Dandy Dan's Chevron in both Bellevue and Sumrall, and Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic. Proud to bring you Sumrall Bobcat football action here in HD on our YouTube channel. Very Ole Miss-like in their uniforms. The Pirates taking the field, getting ready to kick the football away. Ready to kick the football away to Sumrall, which the Bobcats will receive it to our right and work from right to left. In the Bobcats, these white-on-white uniform combinations have been very productive for the Bobcats. Bryson Smith. Actually, I stand corrected. The Pirates did win the toss, but they elected to receive. We were originally given an indication that they are deferring to the second half, but the Pirates will receive the football to begin the game, so Sumrall's defense will be on the field to flex its muscle. We are underway here. Bryson Smith's kick goes to the far side of the field, fielded at about the 15-yard line, and returning the football is Joshua Tinson. Tinson up to about the 20, where he's gang tackled there by a host of Sumrall Bobcats, including Nigel Coleman there. So 1st and 10 for the Pirates as they get to work. Other teams in the district are playing tonight. Lawrence County is at Collins. Moss Point is playing at Greene County, so that's another matchup of District 7 4A and 8 4A. Forest County AHS is at Hazelhurst. Purvis is at Seminary tonight. The Poplarville Hornets have the night off. 1st and 10 for the Pirates, again working left to right out of the I formation. Surveying the defense's quarterback, Austin Scanlon, hands off to the first man through. But we have a penalty marker down on the far side of the field. The Pirates will be whistled for a false start here, it would appear. And that is the case. So the Pirates will go back 5 yards. Sumrall looking to go, 6-0 on the year? Is this week? No, it's not week 6 already. looking to go 5-0. Or they are 5-0, so they are looking to go 6. All right, 1st and 10 to the far side of the field. DeMonte May, the wide receiver there, man-to-man coverage on the far side of the field. Scanlon underneath center. Hands it off right side. Not a whole lot of running room there, but breaking through, carrying 4 or 5 Bobcats with him. Nice running there on the play by the Pirates. Joshua Tinson, the senior running back, listed at 5'9", 160.
On the carry.
Up to about the 25-yard line. They've got to get up to the 31. 2nd down and about 7 for the Pirates. The I formation, they normally run a spread, but they're in an I tonight, which is primarily a running formation. Austin Scanlon, the sophomore quarterback, so he's got a couple years left on his contract. Some misdirection to Wynn. Wynn to the far side of the field, and he gets a 1st down after being pushed out at about the 35-yard line. Ridden out of bounds there by Nigel Coleman. Coleman already has 2 tackles, but that'll move the chains for the Pirates. Hu Wen, the junior running back, the speed merchant to the far side of the field on the 1st down. So the Pirates have a 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. This field is laid out north to south. So again, Austin Scanlon. Scanlon spelled S-C-A-N-L-A-N. And running right into the Sumrall defense, Ashanti Cocroft. But there is a penalty marker on the play and a face mask on the Bobcats. But man, getting hit at the line of scrimmage was Gordon Ward. And Ward stockily built at 5'8", 235.
Repeat 1st down, 1st and 5.
So after the mark-off, it was a minor infraction for a face mask, a 5-yarder. So 1st and 5 now for the Pirates. Scanlon again out of the eye, single receiver to each side. Pitch, sweep to the left side, looking for some running room there is Andrew Moffitt. Moffitt gets up to near the 50-yard line. The ball was popped loose, but it went out of bounds. Got enough for the 1st down on the pickup of 8. And the Sumrall defense, which has been so stingy for most of the year, showing a little bit of pliability here in the first series of the night under the lights here at McDonald Stadium. It's a 1st down for the Pirates. Pass Christian comes in here with a 1-3 mark, but have played some really good teams early on. Sumrall again looking to remain undefeated as they head into district play next week. 1st and 10, the Pirates working in front of the Sumrall bench left to right. Receiver to the near side is DeMonte May, the senior wide receiver. Again out of the eye, Scanlon and company. Quick count, pitch, they'll try the sweep to this side of the field. Andrew Moffitt really kind of slipped up. The quack attack was in there, making the tackle for Sumrall along with Nigel Coleman. Gain of about a yard, 2nd down and 9. Time for Sumrall roll call. Give us a text at 601-310-7077. That's 601-310-7077. Let us know where you're watching the game from tonight. We'll give you a shout out. 2nd down and 9. This time the Pirates in front of their own bench. Scanlon to the 2nd man through. Big hole over the left side and stumbling forward. Joshua Tinson, Ward rather, on the carry for the Pirates, and a shoestring tackle on the secondary saved a touchdown. So the Pirates big and strong on that offensive front, and you have to be when you're dealing with guys like Cole Daniels and Solomon Lander on each end of that defensive line. For Sumrall, Justice Hanbury in there as well, but it's another 1st down for the Pirates, moving effectively here, and it's all been on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Scanlon, they try the right side this time. Gordon Ward is a load, man, to bring down. He is 235 pounds. The quack attack and Nigel Coleman again on the tackle for Sumrall. Ahead for about 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Clock moving with 8:24 left to go here in the 1st quarter. Sumrall has yet to get the football here on homecoming night at Pass High School, as they call it, Pass Christian. You're watching in Sumrall tonight from the 601 area code. Scanlon wants to throw for the first time. Slings it down the field, has a receiver. It's caught into the end zone. That's a touchdown. DeMonte May.
With the touchdown.
Had man-to-man coverage and outran the Sumrall defense. No penalty markers down, so this one will stand. Some of the Pirate students running here with their flags down here in front of us, as that was a very impressive drive by the Pirates. And here's Schwartz to kick the extra point out of the hold of Nikes. Snap is back, the placement's down, the kick is up, and it's good. With 7:55 left to go in the first quarter, the Pirates have struck first and lead the Rollcats 7-0, a very impressive drive. Though fall is football season, the pros at Sumrall Lawn Service are busy every season. Whether it's mowing, edging, tree trimming, or bush hogging, Richie and Jim Sumrall have over 20 years of experience making your lawn be something you can be proud of. Like the Bobcats on the field, Sumrall Lawn Care knows what it takes to win and how to make your home landscape a winner. Sumrall Lawn Care salutes Bobcat Graham Freeman and wishes him luck this season. Proud supporters of the Bobcats, Sumrall Lawn Care, sponsors of the Bobcat Red Zone. Checking in from the 830 area code, Baytown, Texas. Shout out to the Quack Attack from his mama, Grace and Jamie in Baytown, Texas. Well, the Quack Attack is off to a good start with a couple of tackles, although the defense got hit squarely in the jaw on that first series. So the Bobcats will have a chance to work its offense for the first time tonight. Kicking it away will be Schwartz, Titus Schwartz. It's a short end-over-ender that will be fielded at about the 32-yard line. Cronin trying to go to the far side of the field. Does, looking for a block and gets one up across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Nice job by Matthew Cronin on the return for Sumrall. He wasn't expected to get that football, but with the short kick by Schwartz, he flagged it and took it up to the 41-yard line. So Zane Berry with that knee brace is into the ball game after taking a 2 or 3 week hiatus here. So he'll come out to the far side of the field. Dennis Jackson at quarterback out of the shotgun. He's got Tyreek Preston and hands it to Preston. Over right tackle, gets ahead for a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Making the tackle for the Pirates is Matthew Stubbs, the senior. Brings up a second down and 6. The Bobcats trailing in this game 7-0. You see the clock and the scoreboard up in the left-hand corner of your screen. First possession of the night for the Sumrall offense. Dennis Jackson, the all-everything wide receiver, pressed into play at quarterback after big-time Billy Garrity got the labrum injury. Handoff again, almost the exact same play. John Failer leading the way there offensively for Sumrall. That's a gain of about 5 on the play. It'll bring up a third down and short. They've got to get to just the other side of the 50-yard line. About 3 yards left to go to get that first down. Sumrall working quickly, strong side right. On third down, give and go to Tyreek Preston. Preston follows his blockers, gets the first down. Didn't get much more than what he needed, but nonetheless did get the first down. So Sumrall has kept the ball on the ground up to this point.
He'll pick up the Bobcat first down.
This game might be whoever has the football last, as both offenses have shown great prowess here early on. Berry again to the near side. Sumrall working from right to left or south to north. And there's a penalty marker that comes in. I don't know if we have an illegal substitution. Too many men on the field or in the huddle. Raymond McCraney has checked in, a 1976 graduate of Sumrall High School.
Start on the Wildcats, back them up 5.
So they'll whistle a false start against Sumrall. So it's a 1st and 15. So the good news is they got the first down. The bad news is it'll be 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. Back on the Sumrall side of the field. Jackson puts Cocroft in motion. They give it to him. Cocroft looking for a block, can't find one. And nice penetration there by the Pirates, Matthew Stubbs, with another tackle. Sumrall does come up with a gain of about 2 on that play, maybe 3. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 now. 5 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in a very rapidly moving first quarter here. And we've got a heat timeout. Heat timeout on the field. We'll be checking scores of other games in Lamar County. Lumberton is playing at Mount Olive tonight. George County is at Oak Grove, and Purvis is at Seminary. Besides this one here, of course. College football tomorrow. Rice, the Owls playing Southern Miss at MM Roberts Stadium. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. The Bullies are up in Kentucky taking on the Wildcats. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. And the earliest game of the day will be the Hottie Toddies, Ole Miss at home against the ever-powerful Kent State Golden Flashes. That's an 11 o'clock start up in Starkville. Other people checking in from the 830 area code. Amanda Duck in Kennedy, Texas, shouting out to the Quack Attack. Glad to have you with us, Amanda. 2nd down and 12. This time the Bobcats from the near hash mark. The give and go to Tyreek Preston, who goes right straight up the middle. Following his blockers, gets it into Pass Christian territory at the 45-yard line, but still about 8 yards short of a first. So 3rd and about 7 coming up for the Rawcats, who look to go 6-0 and begin district play next week, and those are the ones that count. So 3rd down. Sumrall has not yet gone to the air. Shannon White, the head football coach for Sumrall, who also acts as the offensive coordinator, calling the plays along that far sideline. Beautiful night here in Pass Christian at this beautiful facility. Dennis Jackson fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He is under siege. Jackson wants to throw, slings it downfield, and he is intercepted at the 20-yard line. And breaking free all the way. Nobody touches DeMonte May, who had the pass reception for the touchdown, and now the pick 6, the 80-yard pick 6. So Pass Christian looking like $1 million here early. Dennis was under siege and threw that ball short. And May was kind of sitting back there in a zone and read that the pass was short, got underneath it, and then used that blazing speed to trail a path through the middle of the Sumrall defense, and the Bobcats have been hit hard here early. Schultz's extra point is up. It's no good. It was no good. It was wide to the left. So with 4:27 left to go in the first quarter, it's Pass Christian 13. And Sumrall nothing. Christy Martin is watching in Folsom, Louisiana. That laptop she's got gets worn out watching Sumrall sports. Christy, a big baseball fan too, likes the baseball Bobcats. So a rare mistake by the Sumrall offense and a capitalistic Pass Christian defense has netted the Pirates now a 13-0 lead.
Nico's Family Market supporting your Pass Out Pirates.
Barrett and Coleman back to retrieve the kick.
Pirates set to kick it off again.
For the Pirates, if they decide to kick it deep. Schultz kicked it short a little bit earlier. And they kick it short again. And it is caught by Liam Munn, but his knee hit the ground. So he's whistled dead at about the 38-yard line. It looks the general area. But if the Bobcats didn't know, and a penalty marker comes in.
On the return.
That was very, very late.
Flags on the play.
A good 4 or 5 seconds after the whistle, but a flag comes down, which might mean a inadvertent flag, huh? Oh, no? I'm not sure what that signal is that the referee is waving, but he's definitely pointing towards Sumrall. Usually after the ball is dead for 3 or 4 seconds and a flag comes down like that, might have been an illegal fair catch signal. Aunt Shay is watching the Quack Attack. 337 area code. Anyway, it's against Sumrall. The Bobcats have got to get to work. Cocroft, they fake it to Cocroft, and they wrap up Dennis Jackson for no gain on the play. Boy, the Pirates playing inspired football. Making the tackle there is Kevin Reese, the freshman linebacker. And we've got one of the Pirates down at about the 50-yard line. So the medical staff will tend to him. We mentioned other games involving Lamar County schools. Second down and about 9 for Sumrall with 3:48, as you see it in the inset of your picture. Left in the first quarter. Dennis Jackson hands it off, trying to get some room over the right side. Darren Coney. Darren Coney, I think, is a future star in this league, so to speak. He gets up for about a 12-yard gain. Very quick feet, good vision ahead of him. Coney with an 11-yard gain, and that's a first down for Sumrall. Important for the Bobcats not to panic here. You know how capable this defense is. John Failer in charge of snapping the football back to Dennis Jackson. It's a perfect one. Straight snap to the quarterback. Jackson will try to run, but he slipped. It was his own worst enemy there. Couple of tacklers there. Wynn for pass and Andrew Moffitt. So maybe a loss on the play. The 337 area code from Aunt Shay, that's over by Lake Charles. I know 318 is in North Louisiana. Lake Charles about, 4 hours from here, 4.5 hours. Dennis Jackson wants to throw across the middle. He was looking for Barry, but he overcooked it. Pass was too high and too long. So third down and 11 coming up. The incompletion stops the clock with 2:51 left to go here in the first quarter. Glad that you're with us here on our Sumrall Athletic YouTube channel. In case you missed it on social media, the turf went down, the grass went down for the soccer field earlier this week. Hopefully Coach Siders and his crew will be playing on that field this season. Big third down play. They fake it to Barrett. Dennis Jackson will run it himself. Jackson looking for some blocks, breaks free. Jackson inside the 30, a spin move, and is taken out at about the 30-yard line. Nice job by Dennis Jackson waiting for his blockers, including Hayden Barrett, to get downfield and lay a couple of blocks for him. It's a first down for the Rollcats at the 30-yard line. working from the near hash mark in front of the pass bench. Pirates lead at 13-0. High snap. Dennis Jackson rolls to his right. Wants to dump it to Barrett on a little swing pass, but again overthrew the target.
Barrett is in receiver, incomplete.
Incomplete. Second down and 10 now for Sumrall. Bobcats begin district play next week against the arch rival Purvis Tornadoes in the Battle of 589. That'll be at Lions Field in Sumrall. Always expecting a big crowd on hand for both sides in that one. Jackson looks to the sideline as the signals are waved in. A second down and 10. Coney to the left of Jackson. They fake it to Coney. Jackson will run it himself to the near side. Can't find a lot of room there, and he is taken out of bounds at about the 30. I was just waiting for the tackler, Xavion Page, to throw Jackson to the ground, but he did not. Let go of him once the whistle had blown. So third down and about 9. They'll give him a gain of a yard. So big third down play coming up here with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Pass Christian has been explosive here, both offensively and defensively. Wednesday's practice in Sumrall, very, very hot. A difficult day for the team, but got to get ready to play here on Friday. Cocroft on the sweep, right side. Cocroft trying to get something going and can only get down to about the 27-yard line. They've got to get down to about the 20, so a fourth down coming up. A field goal would be about 44 yards from here. Is there a penalty marker down? I don't see one. But maybe there is. Is there one to the near side here?
To the far side.
Yep. Illegal shift on Sumrall. So there is a flag. And they will decline it, which is strategically the thing to do here. So you'll force Sumrall into a 4th and 6 situation or a long field goal. Playbook is not very thick on 4th and 6 or 7 against this swarming Pass Christian defense. Pirates lead at 13-0 here on homecoming night. That pass. So fourth down. Bobcats show that they want to go for it. Try the hard count. But Dennis Jackson rolls. Lofts this one up toward the corner of the end zone. Zane Berry is there. Incomplete. Good defensive play on the coverage by Xavion Page, the cornerback. So the Pirates will take over on downs.
Pirates will take over 1st and 10.
Xavion Page actually went up to try to play that ball as well. That's when you know the coverage is excellent, when both guys try to get the football. And when there's kind of bumping and carrying on when that happens, that's just incidental contact when both players are trying to play the ball. So the Sumrall defense now will have to stand up and be counted here. Nick Otis on that offensive line. Caden Greenwood also there. That is one of the premier defensive fronts in 4A, the ones that Sumrall has. 1st and 10. But tonight the Pirate offensive line has been equal to the task. 1st and 10 from the far hash mark. Pirates leading 13-0. Austin Scanlon surveys the Sumrall defense. And now the Pirates, something was awry with the Pirates, and they burn a timeout here. Coming up in the second quarter, we'll be asking you our State Farm trivia question, sponsored by Stacy Clark Temple. It's not just a home or a car, it's the 6 months you save for your HD flat screen just in time for football season, and the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive themselves to school or practice. And while other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or a combo, State Farm agent Stacy Clark Temple sees your home and car as things you really work hard for. Stacy Clark Temple understands the things that are really important to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Stacy Clark Temple in Sumrall for your home and auto insurance today. And our trivia question in the second quarter deals with one of my favorite subjects, food. So we'll see how much you know about food and nutrition coming up in the second quarter. 13-0. Sumrall defense hungry for a stop here, speaking of food. 1st down and 10. Scanlon under center, again out of the I formation. Sumrall shows blitz, handoff over right side and dropped for just a couple of yards gain there. Nigel Coleman made the tackle. Gordon Ward toted the rock for the Pirates there. Again, a gain of 2, brings up a 2nd down and 8. So glad to have you with us on our webcast from Mississippi to Texas. It's a good thing about the World Wide Web is relatives all over the country and world can watch their favorite high school football team on our Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel. D. Jr. and Kent are watching from Sumrall. Chris White is watching from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I hear they have a football team up there. Handoff again, but a lot of congestion at the line of scrimmage. Great job by the defensive front to push them back. No gain on the play. Tessa Morales is watching from Sumrall tonight, so glad to have all of you with us.
May on the carry, pick over 1.
Much rather have you here in person, but if you can't make it here on the coast to cheer on the Rawcats, glad that you're with us here on our HD webcast. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. 7 seconds left to go. The Pirates do not have to snap it, and they will not. But it was an impressive first frame for the Pirates, both offensively and an 80-yard pick six.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter.
But both touchdowns belong to DeMonte May for the Pirates. Just a missed extra point, and it's 13-0. They'll switch ends of the field in the second quarter. And again, it's homecoming on campus here at Pass Christian. Homecoming for Sumrall will be the week that the Rawcats host Forest County AHS. The Aggies looking for their first win of the year. They are in Hazelhurst tonight. We got a Roll Tide text. That must have been from our friend in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I don't know, Georgia. I don't want to start anything here, Jeremy, but Georgia may give them a little bit of a run. I just said a little bit of a run. I didn't say that Georgia would win, but. So the Pirates, neither punter has been used so far in this game, although we're just now going to the second quarter. It's beautiful. Newly turfed field here at Pass Christian. The track's been here for about 20 years or so, but they've put a kind of a rubber synthetic surface on top of the old asphalt that used to be here at Pass Christian, about 20 minutes from the I-10 Highway 49 interchange. So 3rd down and about 7. Scanlon again looks at the 4-down lineman for Sumrall and begins to call out the count. We got a penalty flag that flies. And carrying the ball is May, but he was stacked up by a host of Bobcats, including Cole Daniels. This is a false start against the Pirates. So actually, if they go through with that play, of course, Sumrall could decline it, make it 4th, and they do decline it. So it'll be 4th down and about 8. And the punting unit, Scanlon, the quarterback for the Pirates, also serves as the punter for this team. So Scanlon will plant at about the 24-yard line. His own 24-yard line. And Hayden Barrett comes up to get a closer look at this one. But now they back into a formation to where they might have run a play. Seemingly some confusion here for pass, so the Pirates call a timeout. And there's no rule as to when we have to ask the State Farm trivia question, so we're in the second quarter. Let's ask it, okay? According to the Food and Drug Administration, the Food and Drug Administration has just said in one of its report that there is officially the most nutritious food in the world. The best thing that you can possibly eat as far as minerals, nutrition, and so on and so forth. What is the best thing, according to the FDA, that you can eat? That's our trivia question. We'll have the answer for you in just a little bit. Stacy Clark Temple, the sponsor of our trivia question.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Jeremy, go ahead.
Can you tell me if it's a combination of things?
No.
Okay, it's just
No,
one thing.
One thing, that's right. That's our producer, Jeremy Thompson. Punt is away by Scanlon. The Bobcats had nobody back as they rushed the punter, and great special teams play by the Pirates, and they kill it at the 10-yard line. So Sumrall will have 90 yards to go, trailing 13-0 in this game with 11-12 left to go here in the first half from Pass Christian on homecoming night. And I guess I could give you another clue, Jeremy. I guess it would be considered a vegetable,
Be first and 10 Bobcats.
but it's not green. How about that?
Okay.
All right. You can chew on that, no pun intended, as we'll give you the answer here in a little bit. The Sumrall offense looking to the far sideline for the signals to be flashed in. Again, 2 or 3 different coaches will flash in signals. One coach is live, the rest of them are decoys. And only the Sumrall players know which coach is live, so to speak. First and 10, Dennis Jackson at quarterback. Fakes the handoff to Tyreek Preston, finds a hole himself. Jackson wiggles away from blockers, has a couple of men out in front of him. Dennis Jackson sprinting down the sideline. Jackson runs himself out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Nice play by Dennis Jackson, and I'm not sure that wasn't supposed to be a handoff to Tyreek Preston.
About the Pirates 25-yard line.
Nice play by Dennis Jackson.
Like he stepped out about the 26.
Somebody texted in from the 601 saying a tomato. And that's a good guess, but that's not right. The best food that you can possibly put in your body, according to the Food and Drug Administration. And it's not Captain Crunch, I'll tell you that. Although, Captain Crunch and Bluebell ice cream for me is tough to beat. First and 10 for the Rollcats. The give and go to Tyreek Preston right straight up the gut. He's got one of the Pirates draped all over him. That's Kevin Reese. But he was still able to get ahead for a gain of about 3 yards, or 4, where they spotted. It'll be second down and 6 with 10:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Sumrall trailing Pass Christian 13-0.
Preston on the carry, pick up about 4.
Pass Christian has been a stingy team here tonight, both offensively and defensively. And you just hope that Sumrall, who came in 5-0, wasn't overlooking a team that record-wise was 1-3, but certainly has capability, particularly some speed. Second down and 6. Jackson with Preston to his right. Jackson rolls to his right. Wants to throw, dumps it across the middle. He's got Barrett at about the 10-yard line, and Barrett spins and is taken out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Nice job by Hayden Barrett. And no bigger than a minute, but he is tough as nails
Barrett on the reception.
for Sumrall. So the football is at the 7-yard line. That's the first down, and the Rollcats will have to get it into the end zone.
Be first and goal Bobcats.
So Jackson with Preston to his left this time. Hands it off up the middle. Tries to get away from 2 or 3 different tacklers there and fell forward for maybe another yard. But keeping him out of the end zone was Blake Donahoe, the freshman linebacker. So here comes the heavy package in here now for Sumrall. The answer to the Wendy's commercial, "Where's the beef?" right here for Sumrall. They'll normally go strong side right. On a second down and goal, the football just inside the 5-yard line. Kale is not the answer. People have been texting and saying that kale, but again,
Kale's green.
Yeah, kale's green. So it is not green. This time they go strong side left. Out of the Wildcat, the ball is dropped. Carson Duck fumbled the football at the 5-yard line, and the Pirates have it. Oh, my. And I think getting tackled for the fumble recovery is Andrew Mitchell. A senior defensive tackle, I think, fell on top of it. Carson Duck did not get the clean handoff from Cocroft, who was in that Wildcat formation. So another turnover, the second one of the night. And this one deep in Pass Christian territory. So Sumrall really had a chance to convert that series into some points and winds up getting nothing out of it. Tough break for the Rollcats. with 9:16 left to go here in the second quarter. Pass Christian gets back to work. Scanlon out of the I formation. And they call timeout. The Pirates called timeout before they were going to get the delay of game penalty, so they've burned all 3 of their timeouts according to our records. Pass Christian has no more timeouts. You're not trying to Google the question,
No,
are you?
I'm watching the YouTube comments.
Okay.
Mason Hudson's watching from Sumrall.
Good to have you, Mace.
And I've got a text in from my Aunt Christy. She's trying to answer the question, sweet potato.
That is the correct answer. Way to go. And that's your Aunt Christy?
Christy Williamson.
Christy, that is the correct answer. I was going to say Mississippi's pretty famous for them. The sweet potato, according to the Food and Drug Administration, the most nutritious thing you could possibly eat. It's a sweep to the right side and into the end zone. This might be a safety. It is a safety. Trying to run the football out of the end zone was Joshua Tinson, but the Sumrall defense, in answer to the turnover, comes up big. And I think that might have been Matthew Cronin that actually got a hold of him and then got some help wrapping him up. So a safety for the Wildcats puts their first 2 points on the board. And Sumrall will get the football. Oh, they did not call a safety. Oh, forward progress.
So correction on the play, no safety. Forward progress stopped at about the
Wow, they even
mark.
put the 2 points up on the board and have taken them back off. Oh boy. So just outside the goal line. On a dive. Handoff up now to about the 5-yard line. Still dragging Bobcats with him all the way up to the 15-yard line. Nice run there by the Pirates. Webb Davis, it looked like.
Ward on the carry up the
No,
middle.
it's Warren.
That's the whole Bobcat team with them. They'll pick up a Pirate first down.
Gordon Ward, the junior fullback, 5'8", 235 pounds. Boy, the Bobcats had the man tackled in the end zone, but they said forward progress was just outside the end zone. And the Pirates capitalize with a big run, 1st and 10 now. And that ball might be loose, but no gain on the play. Trying to find some sort of running room there was Reese Gorman, a junior fullback, lost a yard. 2nd down and 11 with 8:04 left to go in the second quarter. The Deans and Bennett are watching from West Street in Sumrall. That's like West Street. That's like living in Beverly Hills, isn't it, there on West Street in Sumrall? 2nd down and 11. Under the lights here, the moon smiling down on us to our right here. 2nd down and 11. The Bobcats have got to come up with a defensive stop. 2 turnovers, an interception, and a fumble. Scanlon is under siege, and he is dumped at about the 19-yard line. They've got to get up to the 26, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Clock moving as you see it in the upper corner of your screen, 7:19. The Pirates have no more timeouts according to our records. The scoreboard says that they do, but again, according to our tally, Pass has burned all 3 of its timeouts. The Bobcats, according to our records, have all 3. So Sumrall can come up with a defensive stand here and force the Pirates to punt. There's still be plenty of time to get some pointage on the board here in the first half.
Good thing Bobcats get it after half, too.
They do indeed. The Pirates won the toss and elected to receive. So 3rd down and 8, and whistles blow. Justice Hanbury thinks this is going against the Pirates. Hanbury was pointing that direction. But the Pirates, when they decide they're going to run a play, man, they get up there and they snap that ball.
Well, the problem is they take all 25 seconds to get it in when they get up to the line.
And
the play clock's down.
And if you work too quickly, people aren't set, and that's when you get the the false start. So it's 3rd down and 12 now. But when the Pirates have been under the most duress, that's when they have delivered tonight. 3rd down and 12. Scanlon with those 4 down linemen for Sumrall. Scanlon will run to the far side of the field. Goolsby is tracking him down, and then Nick Otis plants him to the turf. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and about 12, and the punting unit will be dispatched here. For Pass Christian with 6:20 left to go in the second quarter. A touchdown pass to DeMonte May, and then an 80-yard pick six by May.
Bring a 4th down to the Pirates.
Scanlon, as we mentioned, also punts for this team. And a heat timeout. They'll take the heat timeout on the field. I was going to say, Pass can't call a timeout, so they will take the heat timeout. Tonight and next Friday will be the last 2 games where the heat timeout will be implemented. Once the schedule moves into the month of October, the heat timeout will no longer exist. That's an MHSAA rule. So again, every quarter with about 6 minutes left, they'll make sure the guys get hydrated. 13-0 here. Pirates lead it here on homecoming night.
Got some score updates for you.
Let's go to the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard, Jeremy.
Purvis and Seminary is tied 7-7 with 7 minutes left in the first.
Okay.
And that's all I got right this
That
second.
game is at Seminary. Other games involving county schools include George County at Oak Grove. Lumberton is at Mount Olive. That ought to be a game where one team has a whole lot and the other team has very little as far as points go. 4th down. Play getting ready to resume. This time Barrett is back. Scanlon gets the kick away, and it's a beaut. Barrett goes backwards, touches the football, and then has to fall back on top of it. Boy, really not a good decision there by Barrett, who actually had his back turned to the ball and tried to catch it over his shoulder. Was not able to hang on to it, but then plopped on it quickly in order for Sumrall to retain possession. So the Bobcats dodge a bullet there with 5:36 left to go. They'll set up shop at their own 44-yard line. Coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show, we'll be talking with James Burnham, who is the president of the Gridiron Club. Talk about one of the many things that the Gridiron Club does to help these youngsters on the football field. Another quarterback change for Sumrall. Tyree Preston gets the pigskin, and he gets stacked up for no gain on the play. John Ford in at quarterback now for Sumrall, the freshman.
And we'll have a player down.
And you hope that Dennis Jackson is okay. Looking for him along the sideline there. And there's an injury timeout on the field. A trivia question tonight in case you missed the answer. According to the Food and Drug Administration, what's the healthiest food there is? The sweet potato. And all you have to do is drive about every 5 miles on Highway 49, and you can get about 800 of them every time up and down Highway 49.
I see Jackson over there sitting on the bench. I don't see any medical staff with him.
Sumrall trailing here 13-0 with 5:19 left to go before halftime.
2nd down and about 8 for the Bobcats.
Ford again in here at quarterback. As you see the offensive line looking toward the sideline, including Hayden Pedigo in there. Ford out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 8. The give is to Fairman, and Fairman trying to a stretch play, trying to string out that Pass Christian defense, but the Pirates have been up to every task tonight. Reese Gorman on the tackle there, no gain, brings up a 3rd down and 8. Clock moving with 4:35 left to go. Zane Berry to the near side, along with Cocroft. Again, John Ford, the freshman, directing the ship right now for Sumrall. 3rd and 8. He wants to throw. Does. Lofts it down here to Cocroft, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by guess who? May. May gets away from 2 or 3 tacklers, drags some more Bobcats all the way down to the 22-yard line. DeMonta May. He already has a receiving touchdown. He has an 80-yard pick six, and yet another interception there with a great return. 3 turnovers on the night for the Bobcats, a fumble and 2 interceptions. That is a recipe for disaster, and so far that's been the case.
And what that brings up, first down. 1st and 10 Pirates.
Pirates have it at the Sumrall 23-yard line. So the Bobcat defense needs to come up with a turnover here. Scanlon with 2 big backs right behind him in the I formation. Wing left on 1st and 10. Second man through. And that's the big rumbling Gordon Ward.
Ward on the carry.
Ward over right tackle for about 3 on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Plenty of time left in the quarter, but Pass does not have the advantage of any timeouts left in the first half, according to our tally.
About 3, bring up 2nd down and 7.
So that'll certainly have to play part of their equation here as they work the football, trying to make Sumrall pay again on another turnover. Scanlon under center. Hands off again to Ward, and he is blitzkrieged back there. Solomon Landrum, Carson Duck, and Nigel Coleman all bring him down at about the 30-yard line. They'll give him forward progress at about the 24 and a half. So 3rd down and 10 as we get just south of 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Pass Christian 13, Sumrall nothing.
On the Bobcat 24.
So will they go to the air here with twin receivers to the far side? Fumble on the play, and alertly Scanlon just falls on top of it rather than try to make something out of nothing. So that takes it back to the 29-yard line, which would make it a 46-yard field goal if the Pirates wanted to go that direction. But you're kind of in what they call no man's land here. A pooch kick punt could potentially pin the Bobcats deep. And the field goal is maybe too far, so they're going to try to roll the dice here on 4th down. Play action rolling right is Scanlon. Wants to throw, lobs it across the middle, and this pass is broken up. Broken up at the 15-yard line. That ball was thrown softly enough to where Carson Duck broke it up. And that'll make all the Quack Attack faithful happy, including Mama Duck from the 830 area code. So it goes over on downs. Sumrall now, on the other hand, has a long way to go, but does have the luxury of 3 timeouts.
And Jackson's back in the game.
Dennis Jackson is back in, the senior wide receiver who has committed to Ole Miss, but being implemented as a quarterback this year after the injury to big-time Billy Garrity. Twin receivers to the near side. Bobcats got to get busy here offensively. Dennis Jackson wanted to crank it up, can't find anybody open, now rolls to his left. He's in trouble and gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe a couple more before he was chased out of bounds along the far sideline there by Kevin Reese. By getting out of bounds, he does stop the clock with 1:43 left to go. If Sumrall could get any kind of points here going into halftime, and remember, as Jeremy mentioned earlier, the Bobcats get the football to begin the second half. Although we anticipate kind of an extended halftime show because of the homecoming festivities here at Pass Christian. 2nd down and 8. Jackson from the far hash mark swings it out to Fairman. Fairman up across the 35 to about the 40. That should be enough for a first down. And the clock will stop as they move the chains with 1:34 left to go.
First and 10
Again,
Bobcats on their own 39-yard line.
good usage of the clock here by Sumrall, but the Bobcats have got to put some points on the board. 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. And that's in the first half of the game. If you multiply that by 2 with 2 halves, that would be 6 turnovers. You certainly don't want that. Jackson wants to throw. Has time, can't find anybody. Swings it out to Cockcroft, but he is met almost immediately after making the catch and dumped actually for a loss on the play. Making the tackle there is Titus Schwartz. There's also the place kicker. And Sumrall will call a timeout. With 1:10 left to go here in the second quarter. And coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show, we'll be talking with James Burnham, who is the president of the Gridiron Club at Sumrall. They had a big wrestling fundraiser in August where Marcus Dupree actually put on the tights and
Sumrall takes the timeout.
headed into the ring.
Miss Natalie Skinner, please
You
call
can't
the press
just,
box. Miss
it's not
Natalie
just
Skinner, please call the press box.
the athletes that can do everything. They have to have great support from parents and fans alike, not only the football team, but the band and all the cheerleaders, all the support personnel. And the parents always do a very good job of doing that. Second down and 11 with 1:10 left to go. Again, Sumrall's got 2 more according to our records.
On the Prime America scoreboard, Seminary takes the lead 14-7 over Purvis.
The Bulldogs are playing at home at the Dog Pound there in Seminary over Brad Hankins' Tornadoes. That's the Sumrall opponent next week at Sumrall. Second down and 11. Jackson fakes the swing pass, wants to run it himself. Does, looks to the far side of the field and runs out at about the 40. Again, alert play by Dennis Jackson
First down, with a minute left in the half.
to save those 2 timeouts. And while we're doing the Grand Bank halftime show, we'll try to get you other scores from around the area, including Lawrence County and Collins. Greene County is at home against Moss Point. Forest County AHS is at Hazelhurst, and the mighty Poplarville Hornets are off tonight. For sure, they're off tonight after playing Heidelberg last week and putting up 55 points. Sumrall leads the division, undefeated right now, but right behind him, there's Poplarville and Lawrence County. A high snap, but Dennis Jackson pulls it down one-handed. Jackson is stacked up at about the 33-yard line. He was dumped right at the first down stake, but got just ahead of it. For a first down, they'll stop the clock to get the chains set. The line of scrimmage is the 33. Sumrall trying to put some points on the board before the end of the half. Jackson dumps it across the middle to Cockcroft. Incomplete pass. He was drilled immediately as he touched the football. So it's ruled incomplete. That's the bad news. The good news is it stops the clock with 41 seconds left to go.
I don't know if it's just me. Ever since Jackson's come back to the game, he hasn't looked 100%.
Well, you know, he overcooked a couple of passes early on in the game and missed badly on some of those passes. Cronin to the near side has man-to-man coverage on a second down and 10. A give and go. This is Coney. Coney streaking inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Here comes a penalty flag. That flag is down at about the 21-yard line. So it does stop the clock. It's a block in the back on Sumrall. So the Bobcats hurting themselves in more ways than one here in this first half. And boy, this is a big one. This one hurts all the way back to the 33-yard line. With 31 seconds left to go. Normally the clock would start, but Sumrall has called a timeout. Sumrall trying to put up some kind of points here before halftime, trailing the Pirates 13-0. In Region 8 4A, which is where Pass Christian plays, East Central has kind of been the big dog very much like Poplarville has been in 7-4A. East Central, of course, playing out of Hurley, Mississippi. But other teams in that region include Bay High, Moss Point is in there.
We almost got the whole town of Sumrall watching over here. Got 72 viewers.
Well, great. Wish they were here in person. It's a beautiful night here on the coast. Nice breeze. Hopefully we can give them something to talk about. Some good news. 2nd down and 10. Bobcats will have to be cautious now with just one timeout and 31 seconds left to go in the half. Trailing 13-0, but man, a touchdown here would be big. Switch the momentum in Sumrall's favor. Great snap. Dennis Jackson wants to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Can't find anybody. Now throws across the middle, and it's caught by Barrett. Barrett inside the 20, inside the 10-yard line, and is pushed out at about the 7. Hayden Barrett is something, man. Like I said, no bigger than a minute, but man, he has got the heart of a lion.
The far side.
At the 7-yard line, Sumrall has a 1st and goal with 19 seconds left to go.
19 seconds remaining.
You could try to run it, but then you'd have to burn a timeout if you don't get the touchdown. Coney is in the backfield, split to the left of Dennis Jackson. You've got Barrett wide right, Cronin further wide right. Cocroft and Barry to the left side, the short side of the field. Dennis Jackson rolls right, wants to throw, does! In and out of the hands of Barrett and nearly intercepted down there. Joshua Tinson was in the area, but it just took off a couple of ticks of the clock. 15 seconds left to go.
Tipped and almost kicked off.
Dennis Jackson's ability to run forces the defense of Pass Christian to respect that, and therefore might not guard the receivers as tightly as they normally would. 2nd down and goal. The Wildcats at the 7 of Pass Christian. Jackson fakes the handoff, then throws it to Cocroft on a slant. He only got down to about the 5.
No, they're out of timeouts. Leave it alone. Just run.
Now Sumrall calls its final timeout with 6.4 seconds left to go. Now, do you kick a field goal here to get some points, or do you try to hit pay dirt just to get something going here? No indication that the field goal unit is coming on.
I don't know if field goals are going to win this game.
Maybe not, but they'll certainly discuss it. A very inspired Pass Christian team, 2 interceptions and a fumble. The Pirates have been ball hawks tonight and have created opportunities for their offense. And you can look at it 2 ways, Jeremy. 3 points would certainly be better than nothing and at least swing the momentum pendulum a little bit Sumrall's way. And again, the Bobcats get the football to begin the second half. But no dice. Looks like the Wildcats are bringing out
6 seconds remaining in the half.
Bringing out the guys to go for the end zone. No more timeouts left, according to our record. 6 seconds left to go in the half. Jackson at quarterback. He's got Tyreek Preston there to his left. Preston is the most accomplished runner that Sumrall has, but he also has some very talented receivers. Dennis Jackson wants to run it himself. Goes that direction and is knocked out at about the 2-yard line.
There should be some time left.
Jackson to the far side. That'll be the half.
The Sumrall coaching staff thinks that there ought to be another second left on the clock since he was ridden out of bounds. And the referees don't look like they're in any hurry to come off the field, so we may see here if there's any time, if they put a second or so back on the clock.
It's at least a second when they blew the whistle. I was looking at the clock.
No, the referee calls halftime now. He put his arms up in that indication that it's half. Shannon White not pleased with that call at all. But officially, Even though Uncle Ernie has tweeted in tonight and said feed tweeter, Sumrall cannot get it into the end zone. It is 13-0 at half. Both touchdowns scored by DeMonte May, a wide receiver reception, and then a pick six from 80 yards. A missed extra point, and that's where we are at halftime, 13-0. The Grand Bank halftime show coming your way. Ready to buy or build your dream home? Well, Grand Bank has the perfect loan for you. From hassle-free construction financing to ideal programs for first-time home buyers, Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home loan shoppers in the Pine Belt wanting low rates and quality customer service they can count on. Find out for yourself. Stop by Grand Bank in Hattiesburg and Petal, or you can give them a call at 264-1467. Grand Bank is your hometown bank, locally owned and operated, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Well, James Burnham was scheduled to be with us, but had something certainly very pressing to tend to over on the Sumrall side of the field, so we will take a rain check and have Mr. Burnham on sometime in the future as homecoming festivities continue here at Pass Christian. And you know, there's a lightning rule that the MHSAA has about any time there's lightning, you know, a game has to be stopped, and we've
been seeing some.
We clearly can see across the way when you see if you ever see the light stands, the one that you're looking at to the left, back behind there, there's been all types of flash photography going on back there.
I looked at the radar. It's pretty far off, though.
So maybe it's the lightning has to be within a certain mileage of the field. Before,
like 7 miles, I think.
Before they would actually stop the contest. But Sumrall trailing here by a score of 13-0. Sumrall returns home next Friday to take on the Purvis Tornadoes. Purvis, at last report, was trailing. They were playing at Seminary.
The next week's game is going to be military and police
appreciation night. Yeah. So that'll be. There's always every time that Sumrall plays, there's always something going on to make it a family affair and getting everybody out to the contests. District games are the ones that count, and that's the schedule that starts next week, including that Purvis game. Those are the ones. As we update now the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard, Forest County AHS leading Hazelhurst. The Aggies looking for their first win of the year. That game is at Hazelhurst, and Forest County leads it 14-0. That is a first quarter score. Jeremy mentioned that Seminary is beating Purvis 14-7. That has now gone to the second quarter. Oak Grove having a much better go of it tonight at home at Warrior Field, defeating George County. That is the first district game tonight for Oak Grove, 29-0. Oak Grove leading George County. That is a second quarter score. Other games from around the district include Collins leading Lawrence County 14-13. That is in the second quarter at Collins. Collins, a team that you might see play for a state championship this year. Moss Point and Greene County are playing in Leakesville tonight, and that game is scoreless at 0 in the second quarter. Lumberton clobbering Mount Olive, as we thought might happen. Lumberton 42, Mount Olive nothing in the second quarter. So if that doesn't change or gets worse, they'll have a running clock in the second half of that ball game. So that kind of gets you up to date as to what's going on around the area. Again, Sumrall returns home next Friday night against the Purvis Tornadoes in the first game that counts in the District 7 4A standings and the battle of 589. So again, we'll reschedule Mr. Burnham, and we want you to know what's going on with the Gridiron Club and how they support the football team. But one of the guys that makes this webcast work every week is Jeremy Thompson, our producer, who's off here to the left. You'll hear him I interject things every once in a while. And I want to talk to you, Jeremy, about all the gadgetry that you and your dad have got to pack up and set up and make sure there's internet and all this kind of stuff, which is by far outside of my realm of authority. But this isn't your first rodeo. You've been doing this a while. Tell us about how you got started to begin with.
Oh, I started 7th grade. I was doing this, just doing the tech side of it.
7th grade.
It was 8th or 9th grade. I started doing football by myself, and I did that 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. I did it by myself, football play-by-play. Baseball I've been doing for a while, also about 8th grade or so.
So you did football play-by-play.
I did football play-by-play for about 4 years.
So I'm filling big shoes then.
No, you're not.
You know. All right. So then you went on to Southern Miss, and then there was some questions as to whether you get to do this again. And they said we got to have Jeremy back, man. He's the only guy that knows how to do all of this.
Well,
yes.
sure.
Is that? You're being far too humble, Jeremy. But now all the equipment. How do you know what to get and how it hooks up and how it works and because all this technology continues
Yes.
to get better and it evolves, and so I'm sure there's lots of different choices as to what type of equipment you can get.
Well, we went from now we're doing HD streaming, which it's kind of hard to get at home still with the internet service, but like tonight we're running a 720 HD stream with the internet upload speed we have.
But we'll go to places where sometimes internet can be problematic. Leaksville, for example, is a very tough place to get internet out of. So how does that work? How do you make internet where there isn't any?
I don't know.
I mean, don't they have these?
We have hotspot, and then we go and look, see what kind of upload speed we have to see how fast that we can upload. It usually has to be around 3 megs. About Sumrall, it's about 2.5 megs probably.
Yeah, well, of course it does.
So it's just enough for us to upload and stream at home.
So where is the toughest place to get a signal from? What has been the toughest place in your experience? Has it been Leaksville?
Southeast Lauderdale.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Meridian area, there's nothing.
Pretty much nothing.
Wow.
You have to record the game and upload later.
And that would be good for football and baseball, or just primarily baseball?
Baseball. I don't know if we've ever played football there.
Okay. Is producing a football webcast easier or baseball easier?
About the same.
Really? Okay, so you got to be on the same page though with your camera guys too. Who's working? How do you find guys to run the cameras, and how does all that work?
Well, baseball we've gotten to where it's just a still camera down on the second floor. Here we have the Douglas twins. They run the video cameras for the team, and we just run that feed to our computer, and then we have a separate camera that stays on the scoreboard.
Well, you see the Pirate Marching Band on the field here performing homecoming festivities here. Sumrall trailing in this game 13-0, but the Bobcats will get the football to begin the second half. And turnovers have really been a problem here for the Bobcats in the first half with a couple of interceptions, one thrown by Dennis Jackson, one thrown by John Ford, and then there was a fumble recovery and run back for about 55 yards. Now, in that particular situation, the Sumrall defense was able to hold firm and not allot the Pirates any points in that particular series. But then Sumrall twice has been deep down at the other end of the field and just one turned it over on the fumble at about the 4-yard line, and then there at the very end of the quarter, the very end of the second quarter, on the last play, which was clearly going to be the last play from a time standpoint, Dennis Jackson ran to the sideline, and it looked like from our point of view that there was about a second left on the clock, maybe even 2, but the officials discussed it. I don't know how thoroughly it was discussed, but the referee then put the crossing arms motion to indicate that halftime is upon us. Past Christiane, a town that was named after a French explorer who actually, quote-unquote, discovered this area, Past Christiane. And it's funny talking with Coach Ladner, the athletic director here at Pass High School. He said it's funny because a lot of these colleges who are recruiting athletes will call him and say, we really need a good Christian kid. And he said, no, it's not Pass Christian High School. Although he said all of our kids are probably Christian. He said it's Pass Christian High School and has nothing to do with religious affiliation, which is kind of a neat story. And the turf on the field here tonight at Pass Christian, they didn't even know that this turf was going to be here. When they adjourned school in May, they just thought, well, school year's over. Well, it was. But then the athletic department got the call that they reworked an old bond issue, and there was some money there to turf the field. And they said, well, okay, great. Well, when's that going to happen? They said, like, next week. They go, next week. So, yeah, so this turf is not even about 3 months old, 3 or 4 months old. And the soccer teams, as we mentioned here at Pass Christian, also use this field. So a beautiful facility here at McDonald Stadium, which is actually right across the street from the campus at Pass Christian High School and the home of the Pirates here, as both of these teams wrap up their pre-district schedule, getting ready for district play next week when the Rawcats will entertain the Purvis Tornadoes in the Battle of 589. Obtaining a home loan is easier from your hometown bank, Grand Bank. Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home buyers in the Pine Belt, wanting low interest rates and hometown service they can count on. Whether you're looking for your first home, your next home, or refinancing your current home, Grand Bank will make it easy. They're locally owned and their home is right here. They want to help you with yours. Stop by or give them a call at 601-264-1467. That's 264-1467. Grand Bank is your hometown lender, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And we know that Grand Bank does a lot of business in the Sumrall area with Sumrall home buyers. It is 20-7 now. Seminary has extended its lead over the Purvis Tornadoes at halftime. 20-7 is that score. And from the 601 area code, shout out to Josh Allen, number 43. His dad and sister are watching and are proud of him. Glad to know that. That's from the 601 area code, and we'd love to hear from you as well. Keep our text number on file at 601-310-7077. We'd love to hear from you anytime. Know where you're watching the game from. Give you a shout out, your favorite player a shout out, and hopefully the news will be much better here in the second half.
You want someone to interview?
No, we're good.
You can talk to the professional Sumrall photographer over here.
The still photographer?
Yeah.
He's got the same last name as you have.
He does.
You know, actually, you say he's still photographer, but it is actually a pretty difficult job because you're trying to photograph. You're a still photographer, Richard Thompson, but you're photographing people that are moving.
Correct.
So how does that work?
Well, it works good unless Dennis jumps out of your frame.
And that happened last week.
Yes. I got about waist down.
Now, everything in the old days used to be on film, but that's not the case anymore.
Correct. You didn't know what you had until you got back home and got it developed. Now you can go back and look, see what you got instantly.
And in the old days, you only had an X number of shots per roll of film.
Right. You shot one shot every time you want to take something. You know, usually have 36 shots per roll of film.
But now, how many do you have, or is there a limit?
I usually end up carrying back home about 900 pictures per game.
Per game.
And then I delete some during the game.
And what makes, in your view, a good picture, Richard? Besides the clarity, obviously, but I'm just saying the essence of the photograph. What makes a good one?
Basically, if it tells a story.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you look at a picture,
right.
man, that's...
You can tell what's going on by the frame of the picture.
That's probably a lot of emotion on players' faces and kind of getting the nitty-gritty of what's going on as well.
Right, and then you got parents, they're just happy to have a picture with their kid in it.
Now, how long have you been doing the still photography?
I think the first year I started taking was 2007.
So was it
baseball?
Was it a hobby at that point, or how did you kind of get
started? Yeah, the first year I just took some from the stands and taking pictures. Since then, I've taken some for the paper more times, and I've gone for them and take some pictures. Most of them I just put on the Sumrall Athletic site on Facebook.
And that's really, when you look at the social media effort that Sumrall puts forth compared to a lot of other schools, Sumrall really has some great things going on social media. All of the contacts for Sumrall on social media is at Sumrall Athletic, right?
Athletics. Except for Twitter. There's not enough characters to have that.
So that's Sumrall Athletic.
Right.
But everything else is Sumrall Athletics. So whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, Sumrall Athletics, you'll be able to
Correct.
you'll be able to follow the Bobcats as to what's going on. So you have different types of lenses there, Richard. Obviously, the longer the lens, the farther away you can be, or how does that work?
Well, yeah, the one I use, that's a 200 zoom, but it has a f-stop of 2.8, which allows to take pictures in lower light, which most high school football fields, you have to run it as wide open as you can.
Are not this well lit?
No, this one's pretty good here.
Yeah.
But there's some of them you go to, like baseball, you go to West Marion, you don't take it after it goes dark, unless you want to take a still shot of somebody.
And again, I don't mean to pick on Leakesville tonight because I've kind of picked on Leakesville earlier, but
Yeah,
but
it's
Leakesville,
similar to the same.
Yeah,
yes.
it's kind of tough to for the field to be well lit, at Leakesville as well. But in the old days too, when there was motion in the picture, there would be that swoosh,
Right, yeah.
kind of behind the.
You see like 2 or 3 images of them.
Right. So I guess
That was
just a technology advancement.
Yeah, that and better lenses increase that.
So that when you actually take the picture, they're stopped even though they're moving.
Right, and I enjoy taking action pictures over portraits. If I miss a shot in football, there's another play coming right after that.
So the one that you mentioned about Dennis Jackson when he did the hurdle step last week, and you missed it, were you kind of upset? Because you knew that was a big play.
Oh yes.
But what are you gonna do?
We got the video of it though.
But you can't.
No,
but
you can't go back.
No, and you can't expect
No.
that you would get a shot like that.
No, and sometimes you get shots you don't even know that you really got because you've taken maybe 10 frames every time.
And how are you better today as a photographer than you were when you started?
I take more breaks watching the game.
So you are able to
Yeah.
enjoy the game even
Yes,
though you're
yeah. Used
you're
to,
working.
I was taking everything and not enjoying the game itself.
Well, dare I say, without the Thompson family, very few of us would be able to see Sumrall sports action, whether it's on our HD stream or by still pictures on the different formats of social media. But Richard and Jeremy Thompson have been big members of the Sumrall family, and their contributions certainly speak for themselves, and we're glad to have them along with us tonight, as always. But here at Pass Christian, we've got to put our collective heads together and come up with something because the Bobcats trail 13-0. In just a few moments, we'll be back with a kickoff. The Bobcats will receive the football to begin the second half. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat football on YouTube.
sure to check out the concession stand. Your Pride of Pass High School Marching Band and Band Boosters have both those open. Also, over on the home side, get your snow cones, Sweet Escapes. Selling snow cones on the home side by the concession stand. I'd like to thank their halftime sponsor, Coastal Tire and Auto, over on Beat Line just south of Interstate. Supporting your Pirates football.
Back at McDonald Stadium, right across from Pass Christian High School. Kelly Sander with producer-director Jeremy Thompson. Bobcats loosening up in the far corner of the end zone. The Pirates right here in front of us. As Sumrall looking with each win to go a little bit deeper into the record book. You know, last time since 1988 that a Sumrall team has been undefeated this late in the year. And that football team lost to Lake at South State, the only loss of the season, when a young upstart coach, Neville Barr, was the coach.
And it was just by, what, a field goal or so?
Yeah, and I remember, I think you and I have joked about this, I remember covering that game for Channel 7. And as you look out the current press box, I was in that left end zone, and it was a downpour and the field goal, and I had my camera look right up and just saw the football go to just to one side. And it was close, but like they say, close only counts in other games, not football. So getting ready to go here. Then we'll tee it up from right to left.
Hey, Sean.
Titus Schwartz, the senior kicker, will boot it away. And boy, if there was a fly on the wall at the Sumrall locker room, you can only imagine what discussions they had. Because with the team coming in undefeated and a team coming in 1-3, you certainly hope that the Bobcats didn't overlook Pass Christian by any means, because the Pirates, they've shown their speed, particularly in the secondary. So getting ready to go here in the second half.
And your Pirates get ready to kick off for the second half.
Schwartz to kick it away. A trio of Bobcats back at the 15-yard line, and Cocroft is one of them back there. A short kick that is pooched, taken by Cronin at the 30-yard line. Matthew Cronin draped and brought down at about the 36. And that's where they'll start, 1st and 10. Dennis Jackson, we understand, has been encountering some sickness and really has not been up to snuff physically.
We'll have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
Series of the game, you know, he overcooked a couple of receivers. He just didn't look like his normal self. But he's back out here now.
The 50-50 ticket. She's coming around.
Getting ready to work. Zane Berry here to the near side. Zane,
right here
although the brace on the knee is really not factored in this game. Here on 1st and 10, direct snap to Dennis Jackson, goes right straight ahead and gets stood up at the 40-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard, maybe 2, depending on forward progress. Underway here now in the second half. We'll see how Sumrall approaches the second half as opposed to the first, when it was a half that they would just as soon forget with the fumble and the 2 interceptions. Still just a 13-point game. Second down. Jackson again on the quick count. They give it to Tyreek Preston, who gets over left tackle and then weaves his way outside. Looks like he was pushed out at about the 46, maybe. 3rd down and about 3. Upcoming, the secondary tonight for Pass Christian has really shut down the receivers for Sumrall. And both of the interceptions that were thrown, one by Jackson, one by Ford, were both undercooked. 3rd down, a long 2. Jackson on the give to Preston. Preston Rambling inside the 45 down to about the 41-yard line, and an inspired Sumrall offensive line. Beautiful blocking, opening up some holes on that left side as the Bobcats continue to attack the right side of the Pass Christian defensive front. 1st and 10 for the Rollcats at the Pass Christian 41-yard line. Jackson and Sumrall working quickly. This time, right straight ahead again to Preston. Gets down to about the 31-yard line. And man, you can see Christian Clinton on the offensive line clapping his hands. It's like they're
Must have got a good little pep talk.
working. I would think, if you want to call it a pep talk,
Yeah.
we called it a chewing to a particular part of our anatomy. Back in those days when I was in high school, back in the 3 terms I went to high school, Carter, Reagan, and Bush. 2nd down and 1 for Sumrall. Again, they've just been attacking the middle, and again it's Preston. Preston rambling inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Well, if it works, I guess you can keep doing it.
Well, until you stop it, why not? And it's the safest play there is. A trap right up the middle. And the offensive line doing its job. Everything has been on the ground in this series. 1st and 10 for the Rollcats at the 18-yard line. They are now inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Sumrall Lawn Care, busy all year round, not just football season. 1st and 10, this time Jackson will run it himself. Can't find anything in the middle, darts to the right, then back to the middle again, and dives down to about the 11-yard line. That's a pickup of about 7.
Pickup about 6.
Deeper into the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Mowing, edging, tree trimming, or bush hogging, Richie and Jim Sumrall know how to do it. Give them a call at Sumrall Lawn Care, sponsors of the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. 2nd down and about 4, officially a gain of 6 for Jackson. Tyreek Preston again. Now we'll try the left side. Preston is draped and brought down at about the 9-yard line, which is where the chains...
Maybe just about a yard short.
Maybe so, depending on where that football fell. But man, even with this just being 3rd and 1, I would think the way that Sumrall played in the first half, which is something they won't necessarily want to talk about, I would think that they'd go for this even on 4th down. But let's hope that this will generate another first. 3rd down and a yard. Jackson to Preston. Left side, cuts it back into the middle. Inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line.
Preston go down to about the 4-yard line.
Sumrall has chewed up a lot of the clock here with 8:09, now 8:05 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the Pirates haven't even touched the football yet.
Now the Bobcats are in where it hasn't been very good all night inside the area.
This is what has been problematic for them in the red zone. Preston again. They try the left side, cuts it back to the middle, maybe got another couple. Penetrates down to about the, looks like the 2.5-yard line. 2nd down and goal. The way that the passing game has been a little bit off kilter tonight for the Rollcats, I would not expect them to go to the air. 7 minutes, 28 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time on the play clock with 18 seconds. Jackson this time has Preston to his right. Fakes it this time, pulls it out. Dennis Jackson
Touchdown.
rushes to the corner of the end zone, and he's in. That's a Bobcat touchdown. Dennis Jackson.
To the near side, in for the Bobcat touchdown.
How about that for a drive?
Good way to get some momentum coming back in after half.
All on the ground. Not one single pass. A very inspired offensive line in that series. Comes through for Sumrall. Marshall Phillips will hold it for Bryson Smith as they try to tack on the extra point. Solomon Landrum is the snapper. It's a perfect snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and a penalty marker comes down. And this might go against the Pirates. They might have roughed Bryson Smith.
7-12 remaining in third
It
quarter.
is
Bobcats get on the board.
against the Pirates, and that is the call, roughing the kicker. So that'll be tacked on at the kickoff with 7:12 left to go. The Bobcats have cut the lead to 13-7, and they finally convert in the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone.
I talk about some momentum if the defense comes out here at 3 and out.
And you can bet that seniors like Solomon Landrum will try to light a fire under these guys. Updating the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard, Lumberton over Mount Olive 42-0 in the second quarter. Oak Grove is leading George County at half. Oak Grove 32, George County nothing. It's a big win. Drew Causey and the Warriors looking for their first district win. It's their district opener tonight. Seminary was leading Purvis at last report 20-7. That was a halftime score. Greene County 14, Moss Point 6. That game over in Leakesville. And Forest County, the Aggies looking for the first win of the year, leading Hazelhurst 14-0. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. I want to thank Mike Landrum and his staff for their support of our webcasts. Bryson Smith, after the infraction is marked off against the Pirates, gets it 15 yards deeper, and look for him to bolt this one out of the end zone.
Stanley family's watching from Gulfport. Says, giddy up and go Bobcats.
Giddy up, huh? Kick to the near side. It's actually fielded at about the 12-yard line by Colby Creel, and he is hit. He is met at about that 12-yard line, trying to get some more yardage. The Quack Attack was in there on the stop. One of several Bobcats in there making the play. Nigel Coleman also in the area. So now the Sumrall defense. Will the Bobcat defense have an answer? 13-7, the Bobcats are back in this thing.
And they'll spot defensive turn.
So Solly Landrum, Justice Hanbury, and Justice Farrall. Big Nick Otis and Cole Daniels, the big front four, for Sumrall to lead the way. Hand off right side to Gordon Ward, and then fumbled the ball. Ward can't come up with the handle. I think he eventually did fall on it at about the 20, much to the dismay of Nigel Coleman, who was there in the area.
Ward on the carry to the near side, pick up about 7, bring up second down and 3.
Boy, good break there for the Pirates, because that would have been really problematic for the Pirates and would have been a big break for Sumrall. They actually wound up getting 7 yards out of that. Big Gordon Ward, the 5'8", 235-pound junior running back. Second down and 3. Sumrall showing blitz here. But they give it to Ward. They try the right side, and he is stacked up and going nowhere. A loss on the play. Justice Hanbury led the siege there.
Looked like Big O was on the tackle too.
Nick Otis, last week's Dandy Dan Chevron in Sumrall and Bellevue player of the game.
Okay, bring up third down.
Third down and about 3. Officials now blow the whistle.
Heat.
And a heat timeout is coming your way. At the end of the ball game, we'll be naming the Dandy Dan's Chevron offensive and defensive players of the game. The Bobcats know it's important to get a quick start, and so too your friends at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue. Whether it's their complete line of fresh, always hot coffees to Miss Betty's sausage and egg biscuits, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue has your quick start covered. For lunch, how about trying the daily special plate lunches? At Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue, the smiles are always warm and the drinks ice cold. Proud supporters of Sumrall Football and all the local schools, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue on Highway 589. And Nick Otis was the defensive player last week. From the 3-6-1 and the 8-3-0, the fan club of the Quack Attack continues to get bigger. But a big play here by this defense for Sumrall, which was really knocked around and bloodied a little bit in the first half. The offense now has perhaps lit a fire under the defense. We'll see what happens here on a big third down and 3 out of the I formation. Again showing blitz. Handoff left side. Quack is in there on the tackle, only up to about the 21-yard line, perhaps.
Close.
It's short. Also in there was a Darius Fairman for Sumrall. That's a good yard short. 4th down and about a yard and a half. The Pirates are lining up like they're going to go for it here.
4th and 1 for the Pirates.
What they'll try to do maybe is to get the Bobcats to jump off sides. We'll see. With 4:53 left to go in the third quarter. Whoop. And there they go. That's exactly what they wanted to have happen, and Sumrall played right into it. And that was Justice Hanbury.
The Bobcats will result in a Pirate first down.
Tough break there for Sumrall. That was a free unearned down. And Hanbury comes out of the ball game. And Caden Greenwood back in. 1st and 10 now for Sumrall. Pirates protecting this lead. Scanlon lofts this ball up in the air, looking for a receiver, and it is incomplete. Double coverage he threw into. He was looking for his receiver, Hugh Nguyen, down the far sideline, but he was double covered both by Nigel Coleman and by Fairman for Sumrall. Incomplete brings up a 2nd down and 10. Sumrall trailing 13-7 here in the waning moments of the third quarter. A game that has moved very quickly.
Ella Morey watching, saying go Bobcats, and Dallas Tucker is watching from Panama City, Florida.
And if I was in I mean, I love the Bobcats, but if I was in Panama City, Florida,
You might be doing something else other than watching high school football.
Might be. 2nd down and 10. Again out of the eye. Little misdirection going to the far side. Spinning away from the coverage is DeMonta May, but he's wrapped up and dropped for minimal gain on the play. Again, the Quack attack was in there on the stop. Getting some help from Fairman there. Gain of maybe a yard, and one of the Pirates is down there at about the 24-yard line. Devin Goolsby in the lineup tonight for Sumrall. That shoulder, which had not given him any trouble for about the first 3 or 4 weeks, is starting to get hanky on him again. But he's in there tonight. And hobbling just a little bit is DeMonta May. And DeMonta May is about as pure athlete as you're ever going to see. He's fast, he's quick, he's smart. And right now he's out of the lineup.
Which we hope he's okay, but that might be good for the Bobcats.
Of course.
All right, we got a winner, Mr. Leva Howard.
3rd down and
Winner of 187
about 8. The I formation, which is what the Pirates are in, is normally a running formation, but this might be a pass attempt on 3rd and 8. Scanlon wants to throw, lofts it toward the sideline, incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver, Brad Frederick. So that brings up a 4th down and 8, and now indeed the punting unit will come in. Jeremy's mom, Karen, is watching. Is that your mom? Because there's some other Jeremy.
No, that'll be me.
Good to have Karen with us. Go Bobcats. That's from the 601 area code. The quarterback, Austin Scanlon, will now drop back into punt formation. And Hayden Barrett, Hayden the Lion-Hearted, back at the 30-yard line. Now coming up to the 35 to try to track this punt. Limited pressure by Sumrall. It's a short kick, but it will take a Pirate bounce inside the 40. And right at about the 35, call it the 34, Barrett's services not needed. So that's where the Bobcats will begin with 3:41 left to go in the third quarter, trailing past Christiane 13-7. Nathan Cano in there. That's how you pronounce Nathan's last name, isn't it? Cano? 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 To the near side is Cocroft. You've got Zane Berry way wide out there in front of the Sumrall bench. James Ford on the right end on a 1st and 10 for Dennis Jackson and company. Right straight ahead, the play that was so successful in that last series, they go right back to it.
Still seems to be working, too.
Up to the 40-yard line. If you can average 5 or 6 yards a clip, you're doing something right. Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts here. Been a much more organized half on both teams' part. A gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 for Sumrall. The Bobcats have not even attempted a pass here in the second half. 2nd down. Fakes to Tyreek Preston. Now Dennis Jackson will run, escapes one man, and then takes himself out of the play at about the 42-yard line, short of the 1st down. Coach Anita, Ritchie, and the Lots are watching from Sumrall. Go Cats. Coach Anita is my boss, actually, so I got to make sure we give her a shout-out. 2:58 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. A rejuvenated Sumrall offense at work here in the 2nd series. The first drive took almost 6.5 minutes, but it did net him a touchdown. Coney on the carry. Darren Coney, the junior running back, I don't think he got there.
About a yard.
4th down and about a yard, so decision time for Shannon White. Again, they have not passed the football at all this half. Could this be the time, or do you bring in the heavy package? And here Cole Daniels is in the lineup.
Offense still out there.
They are indeed. Nigel Coleman checks in.
May see if they can get Pirates to jump, too.
Coney checks out with 2:20 left to go. 4th down and a yard. Jackson will go out of the shotgun. They will run this play. Hand it off, and a 1st down. Nigel Coleman bulldozes his way up to the 45-yard line, and that's all he needed. So a gutsy call by Shannon White. Josh Allen, his niece, Cheyenne, is watching from the 601 area code. Glad to have you along, Cheyenne, on this webcast, and hopefully the news will be good at the end of the game. 1st and 10 for the Rawcats at their own 45. The give and go to Nigel Coleman. Nigel Coleman tries the left side. Coleman gets up for about a gain of 12 before he rumbles out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. They'll move the chains again. Again, not once has Sumrall even attempted to put the ball in the air. Dennis Jackson was only hitting on about 4 of 8 cylinders in the first half from the air. Just looked a little awkward. But right now, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So Shannon White keeps the ground attack as the Bobcats showing their teeth up front. Again, it's Coleman. Coleman gets away from a couple tacklers inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Tackled on the play by Dylan Nikase and Joshua Tinson. Another 1st down for Sumrall at the 29-yard line. And the way that they're chewing up yardage on the ground, but you better hang on to the football. Lawson Graves, as junior lineman, has checked in to the starting front for Sumrall on a 1st and 10 from the far hash mark, and whistle blows, and the Pirates want to call timeout.
And the Pirates take a timeout.
And so they do as Sumrall nears another trip to the Sumrall Lawn Care Red Zone. Dandy Dan Chevron in Sumrall is the go-to one-stop shop in Sumrall. Whether you need a quick soft drink or maybe 3 different types of fuel, including diesel and non-ethanol, Dandy Dan's, like the Bobcat defense, won't let you down. Dandy Dan Chevron in Sumrall is the proud sponsor of the Offensive Player of the Week and wishes Coach Shannon White and the team good luck in its quest for a district and state championship. Dandy Dan's in Sumrall on Highway 42, right across from the middle school, open at 6 a.m. And at the completion of our broadcast tonight, Hattiesburg Children's Clinic is the sponsor of the post-game show. Former Sumrall student April McGilvery, who is now Dr. April Gilmore, is a proud sponsor and dedicated and committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Hattiesburg Clinic, Children's Clinic. Getting ready for more action. 1st and 10 for the Rawcats with 1:06 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. They have it 1st and 10 from the far hash mark in front of the Sumrall bench. against the Pirates of Pass Christian here on the road. Nigel Coleman again will run it, but this time the ball is stolen. The ball is stolen. The Pirates have it. Running the football is Bryson Adams. Adams still has it and is bumped out of bounds by Cronin at about the 5-yard line. What a bizarre play.
Adams on the snatch and grab.
I'm not even sure the Pirate fans knew that he had it. Bryson Adams, the middle linebacker, who's a freshman, made the play, and it was the old student body left then as they blocked for him all the way down the sideline, and he nearly took it in, but another Sumrall turnover.
It'll be first and goal, Pirates.
That's 4 on the night. And if it can be negated on the other side of the field, then it works out okay. But the Pirates have only coughed it up once.
Somebody needs to get the players back. Players need to get
So if the defense ever needed a big play, with 47 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, the Pirates, who looked like they were on the verge of relinquishing the lead, now have the football first and goal at the 5. And dragging everybody toward the end zone is Gordon Ward, and he might have gotten forward progress to the 3.
Ward on the carry up the middle. He'll get down to the 2-yard line. Right on second and goal for the Pirates.
2.5-yard line maybe with 30 seconds left to go. The play clock and the game clock are going to be about the same. And actually the Pirates do not have to run another play before the end of the quarter. And I think the coaches are saying from the Pirate sideline, do not run another play. Come on to the sidelines. So that's what they will do. 3 quarters in the books.
We're going to roll this to the fourth quarter. And swap sides. It'll be end of the third
Josh
quarter.
Allen and Zach Kleckler are getting some love from Melissa Morgan tonight from the 601 area code. Glad to have you along. And Sumrall trying to avoid what could be a fatal blow as we go to the fourth quarter of play.
And your Pirates fourth quarter sponsor, Red Pawn and Jewelry, proudly supports Pirate Nation.
While we get the chance as we head into the fourth quarter, let's update other scores on the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard. Greene County continues to lead Moss Point 14-6. Oak Grove and George County still at the half. Oak Grove leading 32-0.
Quick cash loans.
Forest County still leading Hazelhurst 14-0. Seminary now over Purvis 29-14. In the third quarter, Collins 14, Lawrence County 13. Final score with a running clock, Lumberton 56, Mount Olive 12. That is a final score, Lumberton over Mount Olive 56-12. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. So getting ready for the fourth quarter here, a second down and goal from about the 2.5-yard line. It's a one-score game right now, but should the Pirates take it in, that would be really tough, albeit possible, to do. Dive to the first man through, and Nick Otis wraps him up and drags him backwards. Not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was Reese Gorman, the junior fullback,
Gorman up the middle.
was thrown back.
No game.
So a third down play. You would think here, Jeremy, they're going to use all 4 downs to try to potentially shut the Rawcats down. Sumrall with 4 massive turnovers. And credit the Pirates, who when getting the turnovers made excellent returns to gobble up some more yardage. Third and goal.
One being 6 points.
Third and goal for a defense now that is beginning to tire a little bit. They've been on the field a lot. Third and goal. Scanlon tries to get to the near side. Quack wraps him up and brings him down. Carson Duck. What a play by the Quack attack as he flew to the ball. If you'll use the duck analogy there, he's about 1.5 yards short of the goal line. It was just a foot race. Devin Goolsby was in the area, But it was the Quack attack that dropped him short of the goal.
4th and 2.
Went to the near side.
Tried to string out the Sumrall defense, but Quack, who actually came from the far side of the field to make that play. This could potentially be the ball game, even with 10:23 left to go. 4th and goal for the Pirates. Scanlon tries to take it himself. Nick Otis drives him back. The Bobcats have held. Nick Otis. Great D by the Big O.
Great play.
It'll be turnover downs. Bobcats have it.
Wow.
1st and 10.
What a play by that defensive unit of Coach Chris Fortenberry. So it remains a one-score game with 10:08 left to go. And the Bobcats have found some success on the ground. The drawback to the 100% ground game is it drains the clock. So if you commit another turnover, it can really be a problem. Dennis Jackson hands it off to Tyreek Preston. Preston gets to the outside. Tyreek Preston puts on the burners. Tyreek Preston down the sideline across the 40 and wrestled down at about the 43-yard line.
Going back to that 4th down. One thing I was thinking when they came out for the 4th down and 2, if they kick the field goal, it makes it a 2-point game or a two-score
game,
two-possession game.
Spotted at the 43-yard line.
Of course, you can't blame them. I mean, you've had those big bruising fullbacks and running backs for the Pirates who have had success all night long. But it was power against power, and Sumrall happened to win that round. 1st and 10. This time it's Nigel Coleman as some more fresh legs come in for Sumrall. One of the big advantages that the Rawcats have is they have several talented running backs. And now getting those fresh legs into the lineup can cause problems for the Pirate defense. That's a pickup of 7 on the run by Nigel Coleman.
Yards per carry in the second half average must be up at least 5 or 6 yards a carry.
And again, the Bobcats have not even attempted a pass play here in the second half. 2nd down and 3. Dennis Jackson will run it himself. Looks for some blockers. Dodges inside, lowers his head and gets down to about the 45. And a flag comes in late. This might be a late hit on Dennis. No, it's a hold on Sumrall.
Be a hold on the Bobcats.
Been very few holding calls tonight.
Well, anything's few compared to last week.
We were almost got beyond the curfew in Lamar County last week with all the flags. So a nice gain is erased there. 2nd down and 10. I thought they might have gotten a personal foul because Dennis Jackson was down and one of the Pirate tacklers came in just a little bit late. 2nd down and 10. Just south of 9 minutes now left to go in the ball game. Sumrall trying to tie this game with a touchdown. Tyreek Preston has the ball. They try the right side this time. Tyreek gets about half of the yardage back. Lawson Graves in there doing some work on the left side of this Sumrall line. Brings up a 3rd down and 6.
A big 3rd down.
Cole Daniels in the game. Now 2 receivers, Cronin and Cocroft, to the near side with Preston in the backfield. They've also got the big beef in there. Solly Landrum, wing left. Jackson gives it to Preston. Preston cuts it back inside, and Preston down to the 41-yard line. That is a Sumrall 1st down. I thought with the 2 receivers to the near side with Cocroft and Cronin here, they might try to go to the air. As soon as they move the chains, the clock will roll again. 8:07 left to go in the ball game. Can Sumrall overcome the turnover bug here tonight and pull out a win? 1st and 10. Jackson again to Preston. Preston lowers his head and bulldozes his way down to the 35-yard line. Landrum leading the way for him on the left side. That's a pickup of about 7. Coney comes in with some fresh legs. Daniels, Landrum, and Tyreek Preston check out. 7:34 left to go. Bobcats may not, the way that the teams have been running the football, may not get another chance. 2nd down and 3 from the 35 from the near hash mark in front of the Pass Christian bench. Coney will try it as he cuts back up the middle. He got stood up when he got down to about the 33-yard line. Making the tackle on the play there for the Pirates was Andrew Moffitt, the junior free safety.
About a yard and a half short.
So 3rd down and a yard and a half. I think the rest of the way it's all 4-down territory for the Rawcats. 6:53 and counting left to go in the game. Sumrall trying to remain undefeated. Dennis Jackson, a good snap to Nigel Coleman. He's hit and dropped. He did fall forward, but I don't think he got enough. Boy, this will be close.
Looks like Coleman may have tripped on Dennis's foot there.
And Dennis hobbling just a little bit on that right leg. Here comes Cole Daniels again. Solomon Landrum also back in. So here comes the beef.
And it'll be a 4th down.
4th down at about a full yard.
4th down and 1 for the Bobcats.
6 minutes, 13 seconds. You see the clock in the upper left-hand corner of your HD picture. Sumrall trailing 13-7. Dennis Jackson on 4th and 1. He runs it himself. Jackson cuts it up the middle.
He's gone.
Dennis Jackson sprints toward the end zone. He's in. That's a Bobcat touchdown.
Wow. After him coming off just hobbling after that last play.
The Bobcats now have a chance to do something tonight that they have never done, and that is to take the lead. In Bryson Smith's young career, he has not had the pressure of a kick like this. People say that a tie is not a loss, but maybe it's not a win either. This would give Sumrall the lead with 5:56 left to go. As Sumrall converts inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Placement is down. The kick is up. It is good. The Bobcats lead it with 5:56 left to go. And it'll all be on the Sumrall defense now, although both teams still have their full allotment of 3 timeouts. What a finish this is shaping up to be. Hattiesburg Children's Clinic is committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Children's Clinic is open daily and offers immunizations, monitors your child's growth and development, and treats a wide range of childhood illnesses. Call 601-261-3500. That's 261-3500 to schedule an appointment. For more information, find them online at hattiesburgclinic.com, hattiesburgclinic.com. Children's Clinic, care you need for the children you love. What a game. So now the Pirates will have to respond. The Bobcat team had flatlined in the first half, but not only do they have a pulse now, but a good, steady, strong heartbeat. But now Bryson Smith will kick it away. And if you're a Bobcat fan, you know that Sumrall's had trouble sometimes with kick coverage. And the Pirates have quick, smart, fast receivers. There's Smith's kick. It's a low liner fielded at about the 28-yard line. That's Dylan Niecase. Niecase is wrapped up and thrown out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. So the Sumrall defense now, Bryson Smith did not give them an opportunity to run that ball back like they would have wanted to with the deep men. So the defense gets to work with 5:50 left to go. Now the defense has to protect the lead. You talk about a tale of two cities. The best of times and the worst of times. Well, that's been what Sumrall has looked like in each half. The worst of times, now the best of times. But they have been bitten by the turnover bug tonight and are trying to now hold off the feisty Pirates of Pass Christian. Throw out into the flat. It's caught and then dumped immediately is DeMonta May. And May has both of their touchdowns, one on a touchdown pass and one on an 80-yard pick six.
Which that was first interception Dennis has thrown all year.
Heat timeout on the field with 5:30 left to go in regulation. The Sumrall Bobcats trying to go 6-0 for the first time since 1988. That was 30 years ago, Jeremy. How old were you 30 years ago?
Wasn't born.
You weren't even around.
Negative 20.
I don't know if you can be, unless you're a woman, can you be negative 20? A lot of women tend to shade 20 years off of their regular age. What a game this has been. Sumrall returns home to take on the Purvis Tornadoes next week, the Battle of 589. And the first of the games that quote-unquote count. The District 7 4A games determine who goes to the playoffs and who stays home. Poplarville has been king of the hill for a while. And in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. That Poplarville game is scheduled, I believe, for October 12th down in Pop Vegas. Second down and about 2 after the pass reception. Clock moving with 5:20 left to go. Scanlon out of the eye. Fumbles the football, and he has to hang on to it himself, and he gets thrown backwards. Ashanti Cocroft gets through and wrapped him up.
Looked like Hanbury also in on the sack there.
And Justice Farrall, R-A-L-L, that is. So a loss on the play of about 7. Makes it third down and about 8. 4:43 left to go.
If Bobcats get the stop here, is this 4th down territory?
I think, well, probably not. They'll probably punt it because they do have 3 timeouts. But we'll see. Third down, pitch sweep. Now they want to throw the football down the field, and this pass is intercepted. Gabe Cocroft saw that the pass was overthrown. He was kind of roaming in that neck of the woods anyway.
The runner quit running, or the wide receiver quit running.
And Cocroft made the catch, stayed in bounds. Sumrall now with the football. And you can bet, Jeremy Thompson, that the Bobcats will cradle this football and make sure they don't turn it over. I would be absolutely shocked if the Bobcats went to the air one more time tonight.
Why? You haven't done it any time in the second half.
And it's been successful. First and 10. Sumrall leads it 14-13. Wing left, handoff goes to Tyreek Preston. Preston, and there is a penalty marker down. This will be a hold against Sumrall on the left side.
Looked like Tate Davis.
Hold it against the Bobcats.
You certainly can't tackle a guy that you're blocking. And of course, that's lots of times why guys get big yardage. And so Tate will come out of the ball game. Boy, Tate's a great player and has another year ahead of him. First down and 20 for Sumrall now with 4:18. Again, both teams, for the record, have all 3 of their timeouts. Nobody has used a timeout. Only the Heat timeouts have been implemented here in the second half. Coney split to the left of Dennis Jackson. On first down, I would expect them to keep it on the ground. They give it to Coney. He tries to string out the defense for the Pirates, cuts it back up.
It's a block.
And did get some blocks up to about the 38-yard line and alertly stayed in bounds.
Connie on the carry to the far side.
Got to the 34.
Bring up second down.
And apparently he did get out of bounds along that far sideline because the clock stopped with 3:52 left to go. Still plenty of time. And the Pirates, if the Bobcats try to run down the clock, can use their timeouts. Dennis Jackson will try to make something out of nothing there. Jackson to the far side of the field. Up across the 40 to about the 43, but did he get out of bounds? Looks like he did. One of the things that Shannon White probably wants to tell his guys is, look, if it looks like you're going to go out of bounds, just fall down.
Stay in the green.
Because then you would not only burn clock, but you would force the Pirates then to burn their timeouts if that's what they chose. And we do have an injury timeout now. One of the Pirates hobbled a bit. And I think that's May. No, it's not. It's Joshua Tinson. Got his bell rung on that play. So he'll come off the field. Sumrall has a 3rd down and 5. 3:42 is an eternity in football, particularly when you have all of your timeouts. Sumrall's goal, other than obviously to score, would be try to work it down the field and make the Pirates use their timeouts. Twin receivers to this side, including Barrett and Cronin. Clock is stopped because of the out of bounds play, and now we've got a penalty marker. This might be a delay.
No, it won't quite maybe a false start.
And it is. Nice eyes there, Jeremy. I didn't see it.
Had still about 2 seconds left on the play clock.
So now a 3rd down and 10. Sumrall trying to overcome 5 turnovers? 4 turnovers. Two fumbles and 2 interceptions.
Yep.
So 3rd down and 10. Dennis Jackson goes to run it himself. Now wants to throw. He's got Cronin wide open at the 30-yard line. Matthew Cronin. Because Dennis Jackson has the ability to run, the linebackers had to respect that. And Cronin got beyond his coverage and was wide, stinking open. But then it becomes a situation where he has to make the catch, and he cradled it beautifully.
He made sure he held on to it.
It is a 1st down for the Wildcats at the 28 of the Pirates. Clock moving with 3:25 left to go in the game. And Sumrall now has at least 3 more plays, provided they hang on to the ball. Sumrall 14, Pass Christian 13. What a game this has been tonight on the Gulf Coast. Again, the Bobcats had no pulse at all in the first half and have sprung back to life. Doing their Lazarus job. Handoff up the middle to Tyreek Preston. Preston dragging people with him down to the 10-yard line.
Preston on the carry up middle, he'll get down to about the 10.
You got to slide to that tight end.
That is a 1st and goal at the Pirate 11-yard line.
1st and 10 Bobcats.
Now remember, even if Sumrall happens to score, and this is big time putting the cart ahead of the horse, if Sumrall scores and kicks the extra point, that's still only an 8-point lead. But as each tick of the clock goes down, that's fewer and fewer that the Pirates would have to work with on a fresh set of downs here for Sumrall. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Tyreek Preston has it. Will try the right side and plunges inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. Not a big gain, but right now Sumrall wants to work that clock as we near the 2-minute mark left to go in the game. And Sumrall goes 6-0 for the first time in over a generation, which they say a generation is 25 years. Well, it's been 30 since that has happened. Sumrall with 10 seconds left on the play clock now. They've got to get moving. 1:45 left to go.
May just be letting it run down.
Better hurry up.
2.
2 seconds. 1 second. Jackson finally calls for it
Preston.
to Tyreek Preston in the end zone. That's a Bobcat touchdown.
Preston on the carry to the far side, and he'll take it in for the Bobcat touchdown.
How about that?
Wow.
All on the ground.
One pass. A critical pass. 3rd down and 10.
To Matthew Cronin. I just missed that on my stat sheet. That's right, and it was a big play. Great team effort. So now Bryson Smith to try to make this an 8-point lead, which would make it more difficult for the Pirates. This kick is up, and this kick is good. With 1:32 left to go in the ball game. Still to come, our Dandy Dan's offensive and defensive players of the game.
Bobcats 21, your Pirates 13.
Kickoff upcoming, and the Sumrall defense will once again be asked to, and they have really been since about 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The defense has been superb. Half the state of Texas on the edge of their seats, we hear from the 830 area code, and that's a lot of people
We've been pushing the 100 viewer mark.
in Texas. Well, President Bush used to be from Texas. So now, how will the special teams for Sumrall play this kick? No doubt they will try to limit any kind of return and force the Pirates to use their timeouts.
Still have all 3.
Bryson Smith to kick it away. It's a low squibber. Taken
Touched.
at about the 20-yard line. And the ball was coughed up again. The ball was fumbled, but I think the Pirates covered it back up. They'll begin at about the 25 or 26-yard line. They've been working out of the eye, out of the leadership of Austin Scanlon, the sophomore quarterback. Sumrall 21, past Christian 13.
And they'll spot it just shy of the 26-yard line.
And I know that in this day and age of political correctness, that parents don't necessarily like their kids to get chewed on every once in a while, but if that's what happened at halftime,
It worked.
it sure did. 1:26 left to go. The Bobcat defense trying to preserve the victory and head home next week for the first game in District 7 4A. This time they go out of the shotgun. Goolsby is showing blitz. Scanlon wants to throw, does across the middle. It is caught. Andrew Moffitt had 3 or 4 Bobcats draped all over him, including Fairman.
That keeps the clock rolling.
1:10 left to go. It's a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Dennis Jackson in the ball game now in the defensive secondary. Nigel Coleman is back there as well. Nigel Coleman, a Sumrall legacy. His brother Ali played for Sumrall. Scanlon wants to throw. Can't find anybody, and down he goes. At the 18-yard line. Cole Daniels. Solly Landrum.
Had a legal shift.
Also in there for Sumrall was Tate Davis. 35 seconds left to go.
Well, that should be stopped. They had a penalty.
Okay.
There's a legal shift. We declined. They probably will add some time back on the clock. Maybe.
Of course you would decline it.
No, they didn't add any back.
They did not. 30 seconds left to go. They still have all 3 timeouts.
It isn't thrown.
Scanlon throws to the middle, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Nigel Coleman.
Quarterback was hit on that throw, which caused the interception.
But 2 penalty markers are down.
Multiple flags come in.
And if Sumrall is called for an unsportsmanlike, I think I know what happened, but I want to see.
See what the call is.
Yes. 15 seconds left on the clock. You see it up there in the upper left-hand corner. It is a personal foul against Sumrall.
Personal foul.
And I think my buddy Goolsby might have gotten a little bit a little bit loose-tongued over there after the play. So you would think that the Bobcats would go into victory formation here with 15 seconds left to go. Tyreek Preston will be back behind Dennis in case there's a bad snap. But by all rights, this should be it. Bobcat Nation, you can begin to breathe, because the entire second half, I know it was difficult. That's it. There will not be another snap. The Sumrall Bobcats are coming home 6-0. For the first time in 30 years, several things to take from this ball game. One, it was the first time all year that Sumrall had been behind.
Right.
And the Bobcats really looked a little lethargic in the first half, a little uninterested, if you will. But the second half took care of the football better, coming out clicking on all cylinders, particularly on the ground. Only one pass play that was attempted, the big gain by Cronin for the first down, which turned out to put it on ice for the Sumrall Bobcats. Time to name our offensive and defensive players of the game, brought to you by Dandy Dan's in Bellevue and Sumrall. They know at Dandy Dan's how important it is to get off to a good start, and whether it's 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. at either one of their locations in Bellevue or the one right across from the school on Highway 42, they've got a great selection of always fresh, hot coffee for you. The smiles are always warm, the drinks always ice cold at Dandy Dan's in Bellevue and Sumrall. Proud to support Bobcat football and all of the area schools. The offensive player of the game, Tyreek Preston, gets the nod tonight. Tyreek was given the ball in some key situations, particularly in third and fourth down situations that Sumrall had.
Well, he also touched the ball every time at that first drive after halftime. He touched it every time but one play.
And shoved it really down the Pirates' throat that first series. Credit the offensive line, though, as well, who were opening some really big holes for him, particularly over the left side. Tyreek Preston gets named the offensive player of the game, and the defensive player of the game, particularly with that great start, is the quack attack. Carson Duck, from his linebacker position, came all the way across the other side of the field to make that touchdown-saving tackle down here on third down, which forced then the Pirates to go for it on fourth down when the Bobcat defense stacked him up. Special mention to Cocroft as well.
He had that crucial interception.
Gabe Cocroft there to send it the Bobcats' direction the other way. So congratulations to Tyreek Preston and Carson Duck, the Dandy Dan's, Chevron Dandy Dan's offensive and defensive player of the game. Time now for the Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic postgame show, brought to you by the Hattiesburg Children's Clinic. Dr. April Gilmore, formerly April McGilvery when she was a student at Sumrall, couldn't be happier at the success that the Bobcats are having and wants to make sure that you're successful in maintaining the health of your children. Children's Clinic open daily and offers immunizations and monitors your child's growth and development. Look them up online at hattiesburgclinic.com or 261-3500, 261-3500. So the Bobcats with this one stay undefeated on the year. They come home to Lions Field next week to take on the Purvis Tornado in the first game of the second season. We say second season because the pre-district campaign is nice to get yourself ready. But the second season is the district campaign, which will start next week. From here on out, Sumrall will play nothing but district games, and the success that they have in district will determine who goes to the playoffs and who won't. And of course, the state championship weekend is the last weekend in November, and the state championship game, all the state championship games for the MHSAA this year will be at MM Roberts Stadium on the campus of Southern Miss. So wouldn't that be awesome for everybody in Sumrall to get to see the Bobcats play in a state championship game the last weekend in November. Our coverage will begin at about 6:50 next Friday night when the Purvis Tornadoes come to town in the Battle of 589. And at that time, Sumrall will look to go 7-0 and continuing to etch their place a little bit deeper into the history books of Sumrall Bobcat football. Sumrall wins it tonight 21-13 with 21 points in the second half, and the stalwart defense made adjustments to come up big at several different times and were able to even win the game after turning the football over 4 times, what doesn't happen very often. But what a win it was for the Sumrall Bobcat team, coming from behind, something they haven't had to do all year long, but they did it tonight and put it away. 21-13, Sumrall now 6-0. We'll see you next Friday night at Lions Field. That does it for the Hattiesburg Children's Clinic post-game show. For producer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sanner. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Pass Christian. You've been watching Bobcat football on our Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel.